Hi everybody, it's Alan Gould here from Unity Media, and you join us here at the lovely City Hall in Cork City. I'm joined with Joe and Anne from Shine a Light and Suicide Mental Health Awareness, among other people, and we're here to mark a very special day in the calendar for mental health services. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Joe to say a few words and introduce some of our guests this evening.
Hi everybody, and we'd like to thank you all for joining us here on our Facebook interactive event for World Suicide Prevention Day. This is a very important event in the world, right around the world, because suicide, as we all know, is a huge societal problem, and we are here trying to raise awareness around suicide and the prevention of suicide. And that's our aim in Shine a Light, to help people who are in crisis and that. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Anne Long from Shine a Light.
Good evening everyone, and welcome to our event here this evening. We'd just like to let people know that there's always somebody there. There's always somebody listening. Reach out. Talking is a sign of strength, not weakness. We have the Lord Mayor here with us tonight, and we'd like the Lord Mayor to say a few words on this a very special day, World Suicide Prevention Day, 10th of September. Thank you.
Good evening, Councillor Joe Kavanagh, Lord Mayor of Cork. I'm delighted to be here this evening, and I'm also delighted to have organised to have City Hall lit up orange here this evening, and I'd like to thank and pay tribute to all the members of Shine a Light for the fantastic and the ongoing fantastic work you're doing in creating suicide awareness and the difficulties it presents to many families around our city and our country. The logo at the back of the t-shirts, talking is a sign of strength, is a very apt logo, and I think that's something that everybody should take on board. You know, if you've got an issue, you've got a problem, talking won't solve the problem, but it will certainly ease the burden on you and your family and on your loved ones. So thank you, and well done to everybody in Shine a Light, and Anne Long, and Councillor Mick Nugent, my colleague, is here also this evening, along with all the colleagues, and also John from the Samaritans is here as well. So, you know, everyone who matters is here, and I'm sending out a strong message. If you've got an issue, and if you've got a problem, find somebody close to you that you can talk to, and you can ease the burden, and it will ease the burden if you talk. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm from the Cork Samaritans, and Lord Mayor, Lady Mayoress, and fellow Shine a Light volunteers, and those of you watching on the internet. On behalf of all in Cork Samaritans, I'd like to thank you for inviting us to be part of this World Suicide Day event at Cork City Hall. The vision of Samaritans is that few people die by suicide, and their mission is to make sure there's someone there for anyone who needs someone. Over the last 48 years, volunteers in Cork Samaritans have helped achieve that vision and mission by providing non-judgmental, confidential and listening service by phone, email and face-to-face visits. We have found that 1 in 3 people who call us are feeling lonely or isolated. Indeed, loneliness is a feeling that most of us experience at some point in our lives. You can feel lonely in a crowd, at work, or with friends, or with your closest family in your own home. But if this loneliness becomes persistent, it can pose a significant risk to our health and well-being. Sadly, some studies have shown that there is an association between suicide and loneliness, particularly in the male and younger person demographic. One of our callers told us once that they were planning to take their life, and whilst they were about to do so, a random person came up to them and mentioned about the horrible weather. And from there, they got talking to about life. They went on to say, only for that person speaking to them, they would not be alive today. This goes to show that any simple engagement with any person who may or may not be in distress can help reduce loneliness and isolation. So let us all take inspiration from this story and say hello, smile, and even mention about the weather to people we see on the street, at the bus station, at work, or even in our homes to loved ones. Be sure to ask them how they are and listen to what they say and see where the conversation goes, because listening is often the only thing to help someone in their time of need. Thank you.
For people that are watching, how can they access some of the services and some of the benefits of using the Samaritans?
Yeah, our free phone's available 24/7. You can ring us on 116 123. That's 116 123 anytime. We also answer emails at joe@samaritans.ie. That's Joe, J-O, @samaritans.ie.
And if somebody watching at home is looking at this and thinking, I could do with some assistance, but the first part of that is to acknowledge that they need some help, what would you say to those people?
Don't be afraid to reach out. There's people out there that will listen to you in your time of need, because reaching out will help you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Hi, welcome back. Thanks again to Jonathan and the Lord Mayor, Councillor Joe Kavanagh and his wife for being here tonight, and for also for their inspirational talk to everybody that's watching in and being part of this event. At 8 o'clock we are going to start lighting some candles, and this is in memory of all those that we have lost. And we'd just like people to light a candle with us at 8 o'clock this evening, just to remember those that we have lost through suicide. We are quite aware that not everybody can be saved, and these candles are the shining of that light for them, that their life goes on in our memory and in everything that we do on a daily basis. And we are quite aware that every family, not alone in Cork, but all over the country, has in some way suffered from the loss of somebody through suicide.
And then, as we can see here in the background, the sign says, talking is a sign of strength, not weakness. That's something that is identifiable specifically at these very hard times for a lot of people, I would imagine.
It is, especially at this time, especially with all of us are suffering from COVID. We're either going around with our masks and nobody can see our faces, they see our eyes, but then we can talk with our eyes as well. We can let people know that we are listening. We can say hello underneath that mask and let people know that we are connecting with them. So it's really important that we keep doing that.
And with the pandemic going on, is there some situations where people might be in fear of having to reach out for assistance because they might be afraid that they'll have to go into a situation themselves if they're in the category that's a high risk? Is there a way that they can use the forum without actually physically speaking to somebody one-to-one in person?
We use Cushcane, they're our partners, and they have been providing counselling through the telephone, and if people so that they can get support through the telephone as well. And all anybody needs to do is to contact us and shine a light, and we will support them the whole way through into making that contact as well. And it is to prove that there is always somebody listening.
Yes, and the services that are here tonight obviously are only the tip of the iceberg in the size of the amount of organisations that are aware for people to get help in different circumstances. So it's not just one or two services that are available, not just in Cork but worldwide and globally.
Worldwide, yeah, and especially I think Cork is very lucky. We have the Samaritans, we have Cushcane, we have Shine a Light, we have Pieta, we have Aware, we have Shine. And they're just to mention a few of the services that are here in Cork City to support people. So it is essential that people do either pick up that phone, go on the keyboard. You know, if you don't want to have that one-to-one, go on the keyboard. Someone is always listening.
Thank you, Anne. So we're going to talk to Owen Cremin and Councillor McNugent next. Owen, obviously you're well known for your traits with fundraising. You might just give us an insight as to some of the events that you've personally taken part in to help raise funds for the charity.
Yeah, we recently done a claim on Count a couple of weeks back, myself and Mick and Joe, and there's another 30 of us as well from another crowd there, Cork City Brigade. But we does a lot of charity work. We does a lot of fundraising. Obviously there's so much people out there need money or need counselling, and we does our best to get the counselling for them, you know. And I done a few marathons as well in the past, but obviously got injured and I knocked that in the head. But I'll be doing a Christmas swim down this year, so whoever is interested, they can enter me on my page there. And anyone that's feeling down or anything, you can personally contact me as well. I'm a good listener and I'm always there to help out. And I'll hand you over to Mick there. Thanks, Al.
So, Councillor McNugent, thanks very much for being with us here tonight. I suppose as a local councillor, you're faced with many issues that will possibly affect people's mental health, some of them being housing, homelessness. What sort of information would you like to get out for the event tonight?
I suppose our simple message is, and I'm a volunteer with Shine Light and with Cork Samaritans,
And our message to people this evening is reach out. You know, if you need help, don't be afraid. Come forward. You can use the Smartens phone number 116 123. Shine Light can facilitate counselling. I think one of the best things about Shine Light really is almost we're unique in that it's a community-based organisation. None of us are really professionals. We're just ordinary community people doing our best, volunteering, and we have to say we get a lot of support as well from people across, not just the north side, but across the city. And if anybody was interested in helping us out, you know, we're more than happy if other people want to volunteer with us.
And Mick, is it fair to say that sometimes when it comes to charities, some people might feel that, oh, they don't seem to need people. Is it always safe to say that every charity that deal with the topic of mental health will always need assistance from volunteers?
Certainly, and we do get great support during the year, right around. People do their own fundraiser, whether it's the Ladies Mini Marathon or the Marathon or Climbing Carrantoul. I just want to mention the first Cork City Brigade football supporters who organised that mountain climb the weekend before last in Carrantoul. And that was brilliant to see 33 people out on the day, because most of us, nearly all of us, have been touched by suicide, either family members or friends. So, as I said, our message is simple: talking is a sign of strength and not weakness.
Thank you very much, Mick, and I suppose some of the work that you and your party colleagues in City Hall will always have an open mind as well to people that come up with new ways and initiatives to try and help fundraise. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, and I was delighted that the Ardvera, Councillor Joe Kavanagh, did agree to light up City Hall tonight orange to mark World Suicide Prevention Day. Most years we have an event, we have a vigil up in Knocknaheeny most years, but with COVID and that, but hopefully in the year ahead we'll be able to do other events and that people can support us with.
Perfect. Mick, thank you very much. So we'll let you get ready to light the candles.
Thanks very much.
And for those people who are at home, remember that lighting the candle in a safe place is just to mark a very special day. So Anne and our colleagues will start lighting the candles now. If you're at home watching, you can pick a very safe place and light a candle. Maybe a loved one, maybe a family member, a friend has been affected by suicide. So as they're lighting the candles, we also have a poem that Anne will read out very shortly after all the candles have been lit. And remember, as the sign says, talking is a sign of strength, not weakness. Now, more than ever, some people will need assistance, or may need assistance in the coming weeks and months ahead. There are services out there to help. You're not alone. There is always help for you or your loved one or your family member if you're in time of need, or you're in a struggle or in a dark place. There is always somebody to talk to. And we ask you to reach out to some of the services that are available in Cork. Talk to somebody, anybody, a friend, a family member, a neighbour, a relative. There are services there for you.
It just doesn't want to work tonight.
For those who are at home, it's slightly breezy.
So they keep going, they keep blowing out.
But I assure you, the beautiful lights at City Hall are lighting. We're just after 8 o'clock now. So it's just only starting to get dark, but we can see the lights in the background.
They're all blowing out.
And this phone has a
We'll
magical
keep the light
torch
shining. We'll keep the light shining.
Of course. So again, we do have a poem that will be read out very shortly. And for those that are watching at home, thanks very much for tuning in. As Councillor McNugent said, normally it's a situation where we can do it in a different setting, but with social distance it has to be done safely to protect everybody. And we thank you for tuning in. And after the broadcast is done, this will stay. Please share it, get it out there, put it out there for people to see that the services are available, not just in Cork but further afield. There's always somebody to talk to. So we're still trying to get
They're not much late for us, I don't think. But we have the light from City Hall anyway. This was wrote in
so we're back again to you, and we were just sorting out there. We were waiting just till it got a small bit darker,
So the lights would shine.
The lights would shine. So, and without further ado, I'll hand it over to yourself.
So we'd just like everybody to join us. And look, this is just sentiments, I think, that's in everybody's heart this evening. Candles flicker on this night, their flames aglow and shining bright. A moving tribute, sea to sea, we share in loving memory. Each loved one honoured, still a part of each of us, of every heart. Our candles are a silent prayer of love and hope we wish to share. Please join us in our wave of light to honour loved ones gone from light. We may never know what was inside that took them away from us, but they did their best. They did the best they could until they couldn't any longer. They never wanted to leave us. They just didn't know how to stay. Thank you.
It's a lovely poem, and where did that come from?
I actually found it looking through the internet. It was wrote anonymously, but I do think it reflects all that we feel around losing loved ones, or family members, or people that we know, that we've come in contact with, that we're acquainted with. I think it reflects all of that for us, especially tonight.
Thanks very much indeed, Dan. So that was a lovely poem. So as I said before we finish up here in City Hall, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us. We'd like to thank the Lord Mayor and the Lady Mayoress for their words as well, and obviously for making an effort to light up the beautiful City Hall with the colours of the charity for a very special day. We thank you, the people at home, for watching. We thank everybody who volunteers of their time for each of the services that are available. And at the end of the day, the whole purpose of this very special day is to mark an occasion that has touched many lives. There is help out there. There is assistance. Talking is a sign of strength, not weakness. And we'll just hand over to Joe to say a few words before we finish up.
We'd like to thank you all for joining us here tonight, and we hope that that it brought some comfort in the dark times for everybody who has been through suicide. So we just say our services are there. They're on our Facebook page, so you can contact us there. There's help out there. So we just wish you all good night and God bless. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Joe. So we're going to leave with some shots of the lights here at City Hall. Thanks very much for joining us. And remember, if you've lit a candle, light the candle for somebody special, a memory for somebody, a loved one. Thanks very much for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.